Matt Scown has the type of job that would be the envy of any newcomer to the breeding industry. He's engaging, thoughtful and highly experienced, and he shows all of that and more in his role with the Mitchell family's Yarraman Park stud, working with elite stallions such as the champion I Am Invincible and his offspring. And he has some great advice for younger generations coming through. It's really interesting as far as, Bred to Win is concerned, to showcase a lot of not only the horses on these magnificent properties, but also the humans and how they've come to be working in the roles they're in. So you've been here at Yarraman Park. Obviously this is your second time around here,
Yep.
but it's one of the elite farms well, around the world really. Tell us a bit about your backstory though, because you've worked for Inglis, you've worked overseas, you've done courses. Just give us a bit of a synopsis.
It all started at a very young age. My grandfather was a breeder, only had sort of 5 or 6 mares on a farm down the road from Pencarrow Stud in Cambridge, New Zealand. So I just started to muck around at home with the mares and foals, and you know pretty well instantaneously whether you love the industry or not, and I fell in love with it. Went to the races, gained a lot of experience just at home. That sort of encouraged me to get a part-time job both at Chris Wood Racing when I was 14 and the Oak Stud in Cambridge, and I was offered a full-time job when I left school when I was 16 at the Oak Stud, and I took that on, and then 2 years later, I end up in Ireland working for Ballylynch Stud and with the mares and foals and in the stallion barn. So Rick Williams opened a lot of doors for me at the Oak Stud, and he got me started. And when I returned from Ballylynch Stud, I applied for the Sunline Scholarship, which is international. It's sort of a miniature flying start. That took me when I was 20 years old. It took me overseas, and I worked at Cheveley Park in England, followed by Coolmore Stud in Ireland, and TaylorMade in Kentucky and in the States. So it opened a lot of doors for me. I worked very hard during those times because I had to make the most of it, as every young person would. And it sort of paid off in dividends to end up where I'm at now. And a big thing I found when I got home from the States, so I worked another year at the Oak Stud, but I found, obviously leaving school early, that I wanted to sort of brush up on that. So I took myself back to University of Waikato for 12 months. And there I just did a certificate in business management, which was 7 first-year papers in the likes of accounting, marketing, communications, and law. I really enjoyed that time there, and I actually enjoyed getting back to school just to learn, because I was very passionate and I knew what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was achieve at the highest level in the thoroughbred industry. The places that this industry can take you internationally, wherever you want to go, it's phenomenal, and it opened doors for me that I'll be appreciative for the rest of my life. And soon after, when I was 21, I moved to Yarraman Park Stud, and I was actually here for the first yearlings to be sold by I Am Invincible. It's been a great road, and in between I've had the opportunity to work for Inglis as a bloodstock consultant, and they offered me a lot of opportunities, so I'm forever grateful to everyone at Inglis for offering me Hong Kong to look after in my first year, which was fantastic. I was very driven and I wanted opportunity, and they gave it to me. 2 years later, speaking to Harry and Arthur, they were looking for sort of someone to oversee and manage the farm, and I thought that was a great opportunity for me to come back and effectively come home. I see this as home now. Yeah. You're effectively part of the family when you work here, and it's great. I'm very lucky, and I've been mentored by some of the best in the industry, I feel. Both Harry and Arthur Mitchell put a lot of time into me. John Foote and obviously Rick Williams, and it's opened doors. And my father's one of the most important people in my life, and he's always guided me, the ways I wanted to go. He's never been involved in the horse industry. He was really encouraging for me to continue with it, because it is a passion and it's something I love, and it's something I know will be in my life for the rest of my life.
We'll talk in a minute about, being a young person in the industry and how important it is to have the goals and to really work hard. But it's also really important for an employer, and it's good for staff to know this, for an employer to have staff they rely on, because it's really hard sometimes to find the staff that you actually can put your faith into. But, from their point of view, I'm sure they would be, might not say it every day, but they would be rewarded by having put that time into you.
Absolutely, and young people, I know for one, I'll never ever forget the opportunities that these people have all given me, everyone I've mentioned. It's allowed me to travel the world, and I get to work with horses everywhere I go. It's such an amazing industry. My advice probably to young people coming through is just keep open, work very hard. The hours are long and it's a time-consuming industry, but it can reward you, and it's an industry we love. So when you put the time in, you're going to be rewarded in the long run. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by some of the best horse flesh in the country, and it's something I love, and something that I'd encourage any young person to dip their toe in, because I think they'll feel the same way as I do.
It's that thing, isn't it? I mean, you hear in any industry, younger people sort of saying, oh, I don't want to do overtime, or I don't want to do, but I mean, you would have lost count of the amount of, if you were clocking on it for overtime, like seriously, you, in this industry, you just can't measure it. You just do the job that needs to be done. And that's how you will wind up in a place where you're respected as well.
Absolutely. I think it's very important to put in the hours. Don't be a clock watcher, because it will take you the whole way, and it'll offer opportunity that you'll never live down. And it's a great industry for that. It is time consuming, but for the love of the horses, for the love of the game, it's a very important part of my life, and it could be a very important part of a lot of young people's life if they give it a go.
What are the most important things to you now, because you're now a mentor for younger staff coming through, what do you think are the most important things that you try and impart in them?
Good question. I think a very strong work ethic would be number one, and integrity. I think those are the two most important things, especially in this game, that if you show both of those, it's going to be very well noticed. And I know that for one, that I worked hard and I showed integrity, and I was always very honest, and that's taken me all the way to where I want to be today. So I think those are the two most important things that people need to keep in mind.
Do you see a difference? I mean, you're sort of, as I said, you're not in your 50s, you're not in your 20s, but do you see a difference in some of the young sort of 20-year-olds coming through from when you were younger? Or do you think it's just every generation there are going to be some people that will do the work and some that won't?
That's right. I think obviously everyone's different, and what I have found is if the particular people that come onto this farm, or wherever I see them out at yearling sales or broodmare sales, and if they love the horse, if they love the game, if they love the thoroughbred industry, I find that they work 100% harder than the person that's just there to clock up the hours. I think it's a passion industry. It's driven my passion for it, and those people that show that work ethic to put that extra effort in, they're rewarded.
What's the day-to-day routine for Matt Scown here at Yarraman Park?
Day to day, we like to start early. But I like to start, and I like to read the news and find out what's going on, both domestically and around the world. So ANZ and TTR and BreedNet always get read with a nice morning cup of coffee, and then either myself and Harry or myself and Arthur will go and feed either all the yearlings or all the mares and foals or all the spellers. We like to keep in touch with all the stock on the farm, and to do so is obviously very plain and simple. You go out and you look at them, and when the first foals drop, you already start looking at different matings for particular mares, and whether it's worked, what you've done, or whether you need to change something. And I think keeping in front of the horse the whole time, as opposed to being office bound, where I'm fortunate enough in my position, I can spend 50% of my time on the farm, 50% of my time in the office. After all that's said and done, I like to come around and see all the staff, and obviously our level of management, from Michael, who looks after the stallions, to Lance, who runs all the spellers and the yearlings, and Anna, who runs all the mares, and Lena, who does the foaling. We've got an excellent core group of staff. They've got their finger on the pulse over everything. And for me, it's they make my life very easy. So I just check in and give a hand where needed, and I'm on the phone most of the day, but it's part of the job, and I love it.
We've seen some more courses and things being sort of introduced within Australia, like TBA with their fast track and their graduate course, and Thoroughbred Breeders New South Wales had Thoroughly Schooled and some other courses, and you know there are others in different states as well. But what would you say to people that are just thinking, oh, I don't know anything about the industry, where the hell do I start? Some of those are good though, aren't they, to actually give you a bit of a head start?
I think so. I think well, I was fortunate enough to experience one of the best courses out of New Zealand with the Sunline Scholarship, and it really opened your eyes. You know, whether it be domestically with TAFE New South Wales, or you get to go on the international ones like the English or Irish National Start or Sunline Scholarship, or you know, to the top of the Flying Start. I think there's a lot of money being invested into the young people, and I think it's really important that if you are a young person and you don't know how to get into this industry, I think you can utilize those programs, because all you need to do is send an email, get in touch. We need young people constantly coming through in this industry, and if someone doesn't know how to sort of get the ball rolling, those are great people to get in touch with, because they're always in touch with the stud farms, the racing stables, and they can point you in the right direction. So even if you're immediately not utilising those courses, utilise the people involved in the courses. We're in it to ensure this is a industry that constantly improves, and through improvement comes the young people that back it. So I think it's very important to keep those running.
For you, I guess, how do you sum it up? You know, you're working with Vinny and you're working with these incredible multiple Group 1 winning and producing mares. It is the stuff of dreams, isn't it? When you follow the industry and you love racing and the horses themselves, this is just a dream job to have, isn't it?
Absolutely. Working for great people, the best people I've ever worked for, such as the Mitchell family, and working on a farm as beautiful as this, surrounded by elite stock. But it's not only that, we're fortunate enough to have great people around us. We're with each other from 6 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon, and most of the staff on the farm live together or live in very close proximity. So we're very lucky, because I really get along with all the staff here, and all the staff here get along with each other, and to be surrounded by the horses is just a massive bonus. And so yeah, we're very fortunate here at Yarraman.